Thanks for watching another episode of Overland Reaches. I'm Brian, and today's reach takes us to Nelson Ghost Town in Nevada. This was just a quick detour on our way to Las Vegas. I always like to give a little history of each place I go, so here you go. Out here in Eldorado Canyon, the desert doesn't forget. It holds on to every story, the grit, the greed, and the ghosts. Long before Nevada had neon lights, men came to this canyon chasing something brighter, gold. The Spanish were the first, back in the 1700s, scratching silver out of these hills and giving this place its name. But it wasn't until 1861 that the real madness began. The Techatticup Mine opened its jaws, and the world came running. Prospectors, deserters, outlaws, men who didn't mind getting their hands dirty or bloody. Nelson became one of the wildest mining camps in the West. Shootouts weren't stories, they were a daily life. Claim jumpers vanished. Justice was whatever a man could enforce with a steady hand and a loaded gun. Down in the shafts, the air gets tight, the walls press in, and you start to understand the kind of courage or desperation it took to work in this place. $10 million in ore came out of these tunnels, and just as many secrets stayed buried. By the early 1900s, the gold thinned out, the crowds moved on, and Nelson slipped back into the desert's hand. A skeleton of rusted trucks, broken timbers, and stories too stubborn to die. Today, Nelson stands as a reminder that the West was never clean, never quiet, and never promised. These ruins aren't just relics, they're echoes of the men who gambled everything on a dream carved into stone. As the light fades over Eldorado Canyon, the wind slips through these broken boards and rusted frames like it's carrying the last whispers of the men who lived and died here. Nelson isn't just a ghost town. It's a reminder of what the frontier really was. Raw, unforgiving, and honest in a way the modern world rarely is. Every trail out here tells a story. Some are carved into stone, some are buried under a century of dust, and some you only hear when you're willing to slow down, kill the engine, and listen. Standing here, you can almost feel the weight of the past pressing in. The gunfights, the gold fever, the long nights in the shafts of the Techatticup. Lives burn fast in this canyon. Dreams burned even faster. But that's the thing about places like Nelson. They don't vanish. They endure. They wait. And when you finally make the drive out here, when you walk these dirt paths and touch these old timbers, you realize the West isn't gone. It's just quieter now. So we pack up camp, fire up the truck, and roll back toward the horizon, carrying a little more dust on our boots and a little more history in our bones. This is Overland Reaches, and the road always has another story waiting. Thanks for watching another Reach. If you like this type of adventure, please hit that like button and think about subscribing. I would definitely appreciate it. Thanks. Overland Reaches out.